And we are in the kitchen. From speakeasies to rooftop restaurants, the Treasure Valley food scene is buzzing, and BoiseDev Eats is serving up all the tasty details. We're joined right now by Kara Jackson. She's the managing partner and editor of BoiseDev Eats to dish on the hottest headlines from her latest newsletter. It is so great to have you here in the kitchen, Kara.
Oh, thank you for having me, Melissa.
Yes, so you have quite a delicious newsletter, if you will.
It's very tasty.
It is tasty. How many puns can we come up with? All right, I want to start with Amano because you spent a pretty good time really looking into this. So fill us in. There's a new location, definitely a place people need to check out, right?
Yes. So Amano moved. They're, a long time, one of the best restaurants in the Treasure Valley in Caldwell, and they actually purchased their own building, and it's a historic building. It's still in Indian Creek, just a few blocks away, but it's larger, and so they opened in May, and it still has that industrial, modern Mexican feel, but a lot of really cool detailed elements that owners Salvador and Becca Alamila put into kind of highlight their Mexican heritage.
That's lovely. Okay, so we still have the wonderful experience that we're accustomed to in the original space. Now it's just, there's just more of it.
Yes, there's an outdoor courtyard. They have all these different little details. They have this, all these mezcal pieces of pots in the bar. And
cool.
So there's just all these really cool details that they've incorporated. Then also aspects of the historic building. So if you look up, the beams actually have Caldwell, Idaho on them in a few places.
Oh, cool.
So they've integrated all these historic components of the building into the design. And then of course there's the fantastic food, which is even better than ever.
And I want to talk about that too, because there's some really exciting news around the chef of Amano.
Yes, so Salvador Alamila is a finalist for the second time with the James Beard Awards.
Woohoo!
Yes, so he is nominated he's a finalist for the James Beard Best Chef in the Mountain Region. And we will find out if he wins on Monday, June 16th.
Ooh, that's coming up.
Yes, and if he wins, he'll be the second Idaho chef to earn this honor. Chris Camorro of Kin earned this in 2023.
That's super exciting. So for you though, someone who literally is in it when it comes to, the eateries in our wonderful community, what do you think this means now to possibly have two James Beard award-winning chefs when it comes to Idaho's culinary scene?
That's a huge deal, and it kind of shows how Idaho's culinary scene is really growing and building, gaining momentum, and the quality and components of how chefs, make food is really being elevated, but also being recognized, which is very significant.
Yes.
It's so important.
I was gonna say, I think that's the huge thing, right? Is that we're finally getting on the map.
Yes.
With the talent that we have in our state and the wonderful food that we have. I mean, I think it really also comes down to a lot to the farm to fork, right?
Yes.
The access that we have to the wonderful ingredients and those that can really highlight it. It's just super exciting. Also exciting, a brand new rooftop restaurant. Tell us about that.
Yes, so Don Day with the BoiseDev team reported on this, and Penbridge Hospitality announced that they are opening a rooftop restaurant. It's going to be on the 16th floor of the hotel they're building on Grove Street between 10th and 11th. It's going to be called the Boise Post, and the cuisine is meant to tell Boise's story through food.
Oh, fun.
So I think the food's going to be really fun, but then the views are going to be even better. Because on the 16th floor, it'll have views of the foothills, the skyline, Table Rock, Bogus Basin. So it's going to be the place to be next summer.
I think so. Okay, I'm marking the calendar on that one. That's super exciting. We're talking about food, but we also have to talk about the wonderful wine in our region, because we've got to wash this all down. You did a story on Tempranillo.
Yes, so Tempranillo is the wine of the year by the Idaho Wine Commission, and it's a pretty unique and special wine. It's kind of becoming one of Idaho's red signatures, and it's special also because there's a tie to the Basque Country.
Yes.
It originated in the Rioja region, which is right close to the Basque Country, and since we're celebrating Hayaldi this summer, it's just a wine that is very versatile, but then also kind of ties in all these important cultural elements of the Treasure Valley.
I love that. I love how it's also a celebration of home, if you will, right?
Yes.
For many people. Okay, Boise State too, though, also in the culinary scene.
Yeah, so there's a new cafe and market coming to the Boise State area. It's called Miss Cafe and Market, and it's going in the first floor of the Verve apartment complex, right at Protest Hill and Boise Avenue. So it's going to be kind of a bodega, but then they're also having this coffee market. It's going to open this fall, but right now they're actually having a little coffee cart out in front so that they can start to meet the neighborhood and some of the Boise State students.
Okay, Kara, so people can learn more about all these wonderful eating opportunities, the restaurants opening up, the celebration of culture too in our community through food in your newsletter. I want to tell people where they can get your newsletter, but also a part of that newsletter is a really great feature that I love. It's called Kid in the Kitchen. Tell us about that really fast.
Yes, so Kids in the Kitchen is our weekly kind of photo at the end of the newsletter, and it features photos of kids from across the Treasure Valley that parents submit. When they're selected, they get a $15 gift card to the still. This week's kids are Sailor and Isla of Caldwell. They're sisters. They're cooking pizzas, so it's really cute.
That is very, very cute. Okay, so if people want to submit their child or children for Kids in the Kitchen, and then they also want to sign up to get this great BoiseDev Eats newsletter, where do they go? What do they do?
They can go to BoiseDevEats.com, and there's a link to sign up at the top, and then also a link to submit your photos to Kids in the Kitchen if you'd like to.
Wonderful. And I know today we just took a bite, if you will, pun intended, of what you have to share with our audience when it comes to where to eat and when, right?
Yes.
So make sure you sign up for that newsletter. Kara, thank you so much. I hope to have you back.
Thank you.
This is great. Now I know exactly where to eat during my weekend. Okay, everyone, stick around. More to come here on Idaho Today right after the break.